Hello and welcome to the channel. The Court of Appeal has debunked as fake news that one of the five-member panel justices in the ongoing case between Obi and Atiku against Bola Ahmed Tinubu has resigned. Details coming up. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Presidential Tribunal. Ignore fake news on Justice Ugo's resignation. Appeal Court. The Court of Appeal on Thursday debunked the news that a member of the five-member panel that is handling petitions seeking to nullify the election of President Bola Tinubu resigned. A high-ranking official of the court who spoke to Vanguard described the information as fake news, insisting that it was the handiwork of evil rumor mongers. The source, who pleaded not to be mentioned because he was not authorized to speak to the press, maintained that no such thing happened. He said, "I was with some members of the panel yesterday, and I can authoritatively tell you that there was nothing like that. In fact, we were shocked when our attention was drawn to the fake news. The true position is that parties in the petitions were given time to file and exchange their final written address. They are already doing that. Once the process is completed, the panel will communicate a date for the parties to appear in court to adopt their processes, after which the petitions will be fixed for judgment. So, it is absurd for someone to sit in a corner of his room and concoct lies from the figment of his or her imagination. In fact, our attention was equally drawn to another fake news that the former governor of Rivers State held a meeting with members of the court outside the country. These are very laughable. How can the honorable justices on the panel travel abroad when they have enormous work pending on their desks? Please ignore the fake news. It is very unfortunate. Hopefully, before the end of the day, the appeal court will issue a formal statement on the matter. I believe that unless someone is made a scapegoat, this fake news trend will continue," the source added. Meanwhile, in the said fake news that is gaining traction on social media, it was reported that a member of the Presidential Election Petition Court, Justice Bolokworomo M. Ugo, had in a shocking and unprecedented move resigned from the bench over pressure from the executive arm of the government, which he believed would destroy the country's democracy. According to the report, Justice Ugo, in a statement, maintained that siding with the government on the matter before the court would be the death of Nigeria's democracy, insisting that he could not in good conscience remain silent. The report stated that Justice Ugo, in the said statement, disclosed that he was asked to cripple the independence of the judiciary by ruling in favor of President Tinubu. Besides, he was reported to have claimed that the panel was asked to suppress evidence and dismiss all the petitions against President Tinubu. It will be recalled that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kayode Hariwola, had on Wednesday equally debunked the news that he had a telephone conversation with President Tinubu with respect to petitions that are seeking to sack him from office. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Other judges of the Election Petition Tribunal include the Chief Registrar of the Court of Appeal, Arunat Samani, Justice Stephen Hadda of the Court of Appeal, Asaba Division, Justice Misitura Bolaji Yusuf, Court of Appeal, also of Asaba Division, and Justice Abba Mohammed of Ibadan Court of Appeal. Recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said it is uncalled for to nullify his victory in the last presidential election because he failed to secure 25% of the lawful votes in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), Abuja. He argued that the FCT shares the same status as every other state in Nigeria. Mr. Tinubu argued against the backdrop of Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi's suit, urging the Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja to invalidate the 25 February presidential election. Mr. Obi came third in the race, but he has prayed the court to either declare him president or order a fresh poll based on different grounds, including Mr. Tinubu's failure to secure 25% votes in Abuja in the election. The Nigerian constitution requires the victorious presidential candidate not only to win the majority of lawful votes, but also to score 25% of the votes in at least two-thirds of the number of states and the FCT. But Mr. Obi had argued in his petition challenging Mr. Tinubu's victory that the two-thirds must include the FCT for a candidate to be validly declared the winner. However, in his final written address dated 14 July, Mr. Tinubu's lead lawyer, Wole Olanipekon, urged the five-member panel of the court chaired by Arunat Samani to dismiss Mr. Obi's suits for lacking in merit. Mr. Olanipekon, a senior advocate of Nigeria's son, said the FCT is like the 37th state of the country and cannot be conferred a special status. Referencing Section 134 2b of the Nigerian Constitution, which talks about scoring 25% votes in two-thirds of the states of Nigeria on the FCT, Mr. Olanipekon drew the court's attention to the fact that there is no punctuation in the entire Section 134 2b of the Constitution, particularly immediately after the states and the succeeding and connecting the Federal Capital Territory with the states. He urged the court to interpret the said provision conjunctively, as any other interpretation different from this will lead to absurdity, chaos, anarchy, and alteration of the very intention of the legislature. In essence, the reading of the subsection has to be conjunctive and not disjunctive, as the Constitution clearly makes it so. Pressed further by this constitutional imperative, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is taken as if it is the 37th state, under and by virtue of Section 299 of the Constitution. The lawyer further contended that Mr. Obi's remote argument that Mr. Tinubu's victory should be nullified on account of not scoring 25% or 1/4 of the votes recorded in the FCT lacks legal backing, as the use of "and" in the Constitution is conjunctive and not disjunctive. The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is also challenging the presidential election's outcome. Atiku raised similar issues bordering on the inability of the Nigeria Electoral Commission (INEC) failure to electronically transmit polling units' results of the election to its result viewing portal. While Mr. Tinubu polled 8,794,721 votes, Atiku scored 6,984,520, and Mr. Obi garnered 6,101,533 votes. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.